going on, DJBooth.net? This is DJ Blaze, and I'm here to give you a full video review of the new Numark N4 digital DJ controller. Okay, everyone, so here it is, the Numark N4 digital DJ controller, and this is a 4-deck, 4-channel controller that just come out by Numark. This is a USB MIDI DJ controller that can also function as a standalone 2-channel mixer with your other 2 channels still remaining for your software control. And you can also use your extra 2 decks with Virtual DJ Pro. You have to upgrade to Virtual DJ Pro Edition in order to use your 2 decks for timecode control, meaning you can hook up 2 vinyl decks or 2 CD decks and use the Virtual DJ vinyl or CD timecode, and you can control your 2 outer decks with 2 external decks as well. So it's a pretty powerful unit, all in a nice compact design. It's an all-in-one DJ controller. It is completely plastic, so everything you feel all the way around the outside, the top, the bottom, everything is basically plastic, including the jog wheels. It does feel pretty sturdy, but you know, again, it is plastic, so you're going to have to take care and be sure not to damage it when using it or when in transport. Along with the overall impressions, you have nice knobs. All your knobs are rubberized. They all are plastic posts underneath, again, to save on the weight. But they do feel nice and strong and sturdy. They don't have any wobbles to them to speak of. You have all of your faders here. Your fader caps are really nice and non-abrasive to your fingers. The cross faders are a little bit looser. The up faders are a little bit tighter. All your buttons have a illumination to them, so you know when something is acted upon and when it's non-active. And they're all hard plastic. And moving on to the actual setup. In order to set this unit up, Numark was gracious enough to include 2 different DJ softwares. You get Serato DJ Intro, and you also get a 4-deck version of Virtual DJ LE. And Serato is 2 decks. So basically the difference between the 2, Serato DJ Intro is a little bit more of a bare bones system. You have your overlay, which comes with the unit, for your Serato DJ Intro, and as the unit is, it's in the configuration for Virtual DJ LE. So in Virtual DJ LE, you get your 4 decks of controls, you get 3 hot cues, you get 2 effects and 2 samples per each deck, so that's times 4. For Virtual DJ, that was what you get, and for Serato DJ Intro, you'll put on this overlay and you'll get 3 effects now, along with a loop in, loop out, and reloop function. So you lose your sample decks, and you also lose your hot cues as well. So it's up to you what you would rather use. If you need more of a bare bones system, you only need 2 channels, then you insert your Serato DJ Intro disc into your computer, plug in your USB cable, put your outputs, and you're ready to go. If you want to use Virtual DJ, you put your Virtual DJ disc in, then you have your 4 channels of control, your 3 hot cues, your samples, and 2 effects instead of the 3 that are found in DJ Intro. Setup was really easy. Just pick the software of your choice. You can use both as well if you want. I loaded both onto the laptop and we were able to use both. We'll have words on what does what better, but they both were pretty similar, but they just have different features, so they're aimed at different users. So kudos to Numark for allowing this unit to be used with many different DJ software. There's also a Traktor Pro 2 mapping that is available on the Numark website. That way you can use it with Traktor Pro as well. Okay, this is the inputs and outputs, and we'll run it from the left to the right. First up, we have the small power toggle switch along with a DC power adapter input. There is a small screw and lock type of hook. That way you can pass your power cable in through it. That way you can't accidentally unplug it or yank it out There's also a USB connector here for your software control. There's USB in record or timecode knob toggle switch. There's a balanced XLR output along with a master RCA output. These are both controlled by the same volume knob. There is a separate RCA booth output here, and this is controlled by a separate booth volume knob. Here we have your input 4 and your input 3, which correspond to your levels of 3 and 4. All of your inputs and your EQs and faders will correspond to these as long as you have them set on the front to live inputs. And these can either be line level or they can be phono level. There's also a ground post here for when you're putting your vinyl decks through these input 3 and 4. And that way you can use these for either your external timecode vinyl or timecode CDs, and that is only in Virtual DJ Pro, and they'll work either virtually that way, or you can just run your regular CDs and your regular vinyl through it as well as a standalone mixer. And on the front there is the 2 microphone inputs here with your gain 1, gain 2, and a treble and bass control for your other mic. And there is also your 2 headphone jacks here on the front as well. Alright, next up we're going to talk about the actual mixing console. And the mixing console is the middle mixing portion of the deck. First off, we're going to speak on the crossfader. The crossfader is nice and loose. It does have quite a long cut-in distance of about 2 millimeters, so all of your crazy fast scratches and crab scratches are going to be pretty delayed here. This is not really a scratcher's machine. Very few controllers are, and but you will be able to do your nice, easy cue type scratches, and you can pull off some complex scratches, but don't expect it to be a very battle-worthy type of crossfader that you get here. Your line faders are nice and smooth. They have a nice tension to them. Really nice for adjusting the exact volume so you get accurate levels. On the sides of the crossfader you have buttons for assigning the crossfader, meaning if you want 1 and 2 channels 1 and 3, I'm sorry, to be on your left side of your fader, you just select the 1, select the 3. Now both of these channels are on your left side, and you can do that with any channel in any configuration you see fit. There's also, above that, you have your cue buttons. The cue allows you to cue up whatever is in your headphones. That way you can cue it, make sure it's on point before you release it out into the master mix. You also have your 3-band EQs here. You have bass, mid, treble, all nice rubberized knob. They are full kill EQs, meaning when you turn all of them down you won't hear any more sound. Gain knobs above that for each. And above that section you have your load controls and your browse function. This is a big, nice, oversized browse knob, and it has a click to it. Very sturdy stuff here. As soon as you select the actual track, you have it highlighted where you want the track to go. You press load onto that corresponding deck. And when you're in Serato DJ Intro, of course, only 1 and 2 are applicable here. When you're in Virtual DJ LE 4 deck version, you have all 4 of your decks here. And in order to switch between deck 1 and deck 3 for your controls, you just press the deck button and it will switch down to deck 3. Same over here for your other side. When you're ready to switch to deck 4, you press the deck button, go to deck 4 on Virtual DJ LE. Also up here in the mixer section you have your separate master and booth knobs. They're really loose feeling, but still work just as you need. That way they control the master on the back and the booth output on the back as well. And over here we have a cue section. This way you can fade between what you hear in the cue and what is actually playing for the master. That's this knob over here. And this is your cue headphone volume control knob. Also, to go along with the mixer, on the front of the unit, you'll notice there is a crossfader contour switch. Normal for a nice long fade, and you can put that in scratch mode to have a nice sharp cut. Also, there is a selectable knob or a selectable switch on the front in order to use these external decks as either PC virtual decks, or you can switch them to the input to have them play the input that is on the back of your unit. So you can plug in 2 analog CD decks, you can plug in 2 analog vinyl decks that are on the outside of this, and you'll be able to control them using your mixer controls here for line 3 and 4. Very nice. You can also switch back and forth between your timecode decks if you have Virtual DJ Professional, or you can switch back and forth. You can put a timecode record on there, then you can go and put your real regular vinyl records on there. So it's pretty versatile in the way it allows you to play your music. You can play live inputs, or you can play PC all virtual. Next up, you have your microphone on-off levels, as well as a bass and a treble control for your microphone. There is 2 microphone inputs. Very nice to have 2 microphones. You never know when you'll need an extra. And you have 2 1/4-inch inputs for those. And you have your headphones, and you have your 1/4-inch and MIDI for those as well. Okay, if we move right along to the actual deck portion of the N4, you'll see we have these nice oversized jog wheels. They are very high resolution jog wheels. They respond very nicely. They're all plastic, but there's no wobbles or shakes to them. They're very sturdy. It's similar to what's on the other Numark offerings. Very nice, very high quality, and the operation is really close to a 1-to-1. Very nice. It's a lot nicer mapping in in Serato DJ Intro. The mapping was a little bit tighter for the jog wheel, as I can feel and hear my slight movements better than I could in Virtual DJ. So make note of that if you're really into scratching, or you really want to hear all your minor detailed movements with the platter here. Intro is probably the way to go. So you have 2 modes to your jog wheel: scratch mode and regular vinyl mode. Regular jog wheel mode. When you're in scratch mode, everything you do when you press the top, it's nice and highly sensitive. So as soon as you press the top and start moving back and forth, you'll do your scratching, or you'll manipulate as you need. And the side will be a jog wheel to change your pitch. But when you have it in regular jog mode, you can use the top to just change your pitch, to nudge and rewind or slow it down in order to get your right speed. Next up, you have your play, pause, cue controls, sync button, your tap button. That way you can tap into the software exactly the BPM, so you have more accurate beat matching. You have the key lock button and a pitch range button. Depending on which software you're in, the pitch ranges will correspond to what you have on screen. And you have a nice, really smooth sliding pitch slider here. There's no center click to it, but as you can see, there is a light here, so as soon as you're at your normal track speed, it will illuminate for you. Next up, we'll talk about the additional features. Your additional features in Virtual DJ LE are shown here. You have your Effect 1, Effect 2, and there's effect parameter knobs for those. And here you have a Sample 1 and Sample 2. And you can select the length of the sample within the software, and your sample volume control will be these knobs right up directly above here. When you press the shift key, these now become cue points, and you have Q1, Q2, Q3, and you can press the shift to delete your cues as well. There's also a loop control down here, loop in and out, and then a reloop. And this again is on both sides, and if you're using the 4-deck Virtual DJ LE, you have this times 4. You have one of these for deck A, one of these for B, then you have these for C and D. So you have actually 4 decks of control of all of these same functions in Virtual DJ LE. So when you switch back over to Serato DJ Intro, you get a little bit more of a limited focused type of playback controls. You have FX1, 2, and 3, and these are your FX parameter knobs. And here's an FX beat or multi auto type of effect feature, which is in DJ Intro. You have a loop in and out and a reloop button. And that's about as far as it goes. You get no hot cues, you get no samples or sample decks here in Serato DJ Intro, but you do get a tighter mapping, a tighter feel to the jog wheel. So in conclusion, the Numark N4 digital DJ controller is a nice controller. It's an all-in-one controller. Numark was gracious enough to supply you guys with 2 versions of software for you to choose from. There's also TSI mappings found on the Numark website, so you can use it with Tractor Pro 2. It works as a standalone mixer, meaning you can just use this right out of the box without a computer and just plug in your 2 decks into 3 and 4 and use all your mixing controls and your EQs just as a mixer. And you also have your ability to run your DVS Timecode Vinyl or CD decks in conjunction with your virtual decks that you are running in Virtual DJ Pro. Also, there's a whole bunch of onboard effects, cue points, additional features such as hot cues, and things that you would normally need on a 4-deck or 2-deck controller. And it's at a good price point as well. So we recommend this for any DJs who need an extra controller, an additional controller. They want it to be lightweight. Perhaps they want something else to take on the road with them instead of always lugging around their complete setup. Good for small parties, also for bedroom DJs and anybody who's out there who just needs a versatile controller for a good price to get them through. On the negatives, it is all plastic, so you got to be careful with how you transport it. Make sure you don't drop it or nothing drops onto it. And the other con was the faders and jog wheels are not perfect for scratching, but everybody should know this already. Most people who buy controllers are not turntablists, but it's good to point out there it's not the best mapping found on a controller for scratching. Other than that, if you can get past the 2 minor gripes, this is a very good controller, and it might just be for you. So for more on the full written review, check us out at www.djbooth.net/DJS for DJs. Also, subscribe to us on YouTube, youtube.com/RealDJBlaze. And you can also follow me on Twitter for all your DJ equipment and news updates. That's at DJBlaze_DJBooth. Thanks for watching.